welcome back to the new 26 Rainbow Powered. And seeing that you liked the format from last week, we're going to try it again this week. Meaning the magical studies and the review are coming in this video right here. Appleoosa's Most Wanted. Well, it's been a long time since we've gone to Appleoosa. How long? Well, it's been 84 episodes since we last made a visit. Yes, Pinkie Friday was there for about a minute, but now we're actually back in the town. Strangely, no buffalo though. I find that kind of weird. But the story takes place when the Cutie Mark Crusaders join AppleJack, who's helping out an injured Rayburn, who apparently cannot watch kids even with one injured hoof. Why? Because the Cutie Mark Crusaders are off, well, doing what they usually do, trying to find their cutie marks. This time, they're rodeo tripping. But when a notorious quote-unquote outlaw known as Trouble Shoes rolls in the town, the girls get together to try to figure out who this pony is and whether he's really all the trouble that he's worth. So, the Crusaders break a direct order from AppleJack, leave Rayburn in the dust, and on a dark and stormy night, find Trouble Shoes, who's just an ordinary stallion. Problem is, he's a klutz. A big klutz. But his love for rodeo is undisputed. He's been loving rodeo since he was a colt. And ever since he got his cutie mark, he thought he was fated to always have bad luck, considering that it was an upside down horseshoe, which, by standards of superstition, does in fact mean bad luck. Due to his klutzy nature, he has ruined several equestrian rodeos over time and has earned a bad reputation. So when the girls find him and use him to get back to town, Rayburn's overactive sheriff, Silver Star, arrests Trouble Shoes for all the multiple ruinings of rodeos, as well as, I guess, filly napping as well. But of course, we all know it was the Crusaders who found him, not he who found them. After a small-scale jailbreak in which we see the return of Sweetie Belle's levitation from Twilight Time, and several nods to some of the Western normalcies like harmonica playing in dramatic symbols, a poker-like game of Go Fish, and upon other Western stereotypes, returning writer Dave Polsky brings his comedic sub-charm to the proceedings, using this simple plotline to really have some fun with old Trouble Shoes. But leave it to the girls that Trouble Shoes out to find out what his cutie mark really means, and teach Trouble Shoes a lesson that a change in perspective can often help you find the answers to the questions that you sought. And sometimes what you think is a wrong thing is truly the right thing. All you have to do is see it clearly. And what the girls see is the best rodeo clown in the business. A fact that he secretly shows off at the Appleoosa rodeo. After, of course, AppleJack wins with a flawless victory. And then Dave Polsky proceeds to pull off sight gag after sight gag after sight gag. And it's beautifully done. But it's not to say that our three little fillies don't get their comeuppance for running off and breaking the direct order. They still get their punishment by having to clean up the mess of the rodeo after the rodeo has been concluded. Troubleshoes finds out what he's meant to do and is willing as a good citizen to pay time for any damage caused. Now, wouldn't that be nice if most criminals would be willing to turn themselves in? This episode is simple. It's not really too complex, but the idea of bad luck and good luck and the notion that you're always a source of trouble is the main lesson here. Here, most people don't have a optimistic point of view. And obviously, Troubleshoes didn't. This was a story about optimism and about having your dreams dashed. And for many years, looking at the fact of losing a dream or a career or something that you feel so passionately it's your job to do, only to realize it's not going to be how you see it. Like, for instance, some players wanting to play football but ending up being a much better coach instead, i.e. John Madden, for once being a very talented football player back in college, but a leg injury brought him into the coach's film room. There, he used his love and knowledge of football to build a notorious career out of it and win a couple of Super Bowls in the process. And, of course, make a very famous video game. There's tons of careers out there and things of that nature. Being in love with a certain thing, much like sports or rodeo or anything, is something that never dies, especially if you catch the bug young. And most kids want to be part of the field that they love, but often don't look at the many windows that open up because of it. Remember the old saying, every pony, when one door closes, another door opens, which is really the lesson here brought upon this episode. Troubleshoes starts out as somebody you would think is naturally dangerous, but after hearing his beautifully told backstory, he ends up sympathetic, and you love it when he overcomes his own fears and uses his own hate-first cutie mark to drive the act. But this may also tell us a clue about the Crusaders' future. Maybe it is their future not only to get individual talents, but to help others understand their talents and what their cutie marks mean. Crusading isn't just about getting a cutie mark. It's about going through the extra mile and crusading to understand what a cutie mark is. And this episode gives a rousing clue to that suspicion. The animation is great. The writing is well done, although the pacing might be a little quick for some. Dave Polsky tells a great third act with great jokes, and Troubleshoes is sympathetic and likable. Plus, seeing the return of Appleoosa is a nice touch, although Rayburn follows the classic style of male idiot in this show, due to his out-and-out neglect of the Cutie Mark Crusaders in this episode. And plus, how did he injure that hoof exactly? And of course, as I mentioned at the top of the review, no buffaloes to be seen, only in the flashback, which I find that rather odd. Nice nods to Twilight Time were shown here. Here are plenty with Sweetie Belle's levitation, and this is a nice immediate follow-up from the episode a couple of weeks ago, Bloom and Gloom, showing that the episode stuck in the three young fillies' head almost immediately. Applejack comes off as strong, confident, and a more resourceful parent to be, in my opinion. And Sheriff Silverstar plays his role in the episode quite beautifully. So, no Troubleshoes, this episode isn't bad luck. In fact, it's a dose of good luck. After the negativity that was Thanks for the Memories, we're finally back on an episode that I actually like. This episode might be underplayed to some, but it's not going to be underplayed by me. That's why I give Appaloosa's Most Wanted 5 stars out of a possible 6. Great moral, great position for the CMC, although troublemakers. The lesson from Bloom and Gloom sticks. Great flashback, great one-off character, and a return to a great town. Albeit without any buffaloes or any reference to that episode being present. Dave Polsky's great gags and comic timing are great, and references to Twilight Time and Sweetie Belle actually being the kind of cautious one are also pluses. But the pacing is a bit too quick for some, so that's why it stays away from being a perfect score. Now, next week we get a week off, so in its place will be the return of pony panels, as well as not one but 2 friendship tables. One for Thanks for the Memories, and one for this episode. Expect the friendship table for Appaloosa's to come in 2 weeks, because Dr. Spartan is off to Texas for some fun. But until we see each other again, find peace in your own nirvana. Thanks for watching.